Both my two older boys were very different with their end of school experiences. My oldest, he wanted to dress up, he wanted to go to the formal, he went to the after party. That was probably one of the first times where he had a few drinks and stayed over the night, even being underage. Once again, I knew the address of where he was going to be and I had contact numbers of his friends. He didn't actually go to schoolies. He went camping with his friends for 2 weeks and they played music and sat around a campfire and they had a great old time and lots of laughs. And, you know, they were having a few drinks over that time, which he communicated. Some of his friends were 18 and during that time, I just sort of checked in every day and again, just try to trust him. Whereas my second child was very different. He was more restrictive with his information that he gave me. And so it was quite stressful for me. I ended up having to sort of have a stronger conversation because he did want to lift to this after party. And I was like, well, you're going to have to tell me where it is. Otherwise I can't drive you there, and you're going to have to, you know, like we're going to have to figure out, well, how are you going to get home? What's going to happen? Who's drinking? You know, some of his friends were smoking a bit of weed and that sort of stuff as well. It was really difficult with him because he also wanted to go to schoolies. He did go to schoolies, even though with COVID it was sort of shut down. He went up to Noosa for a few days and it was hard to hear and hard to calm my own panic because he's like, yeah, they're all on drugs and their eyes are as big as saucers and, you know, they're going up to policemen and doing all this stuff. And he's like, oh, it was fun for the first 2 nights. And then he was like, can you come and get me? But he's the kind of kid that has to experience it to make his own decisions, which is very different from my older child, who was quite happy just to make these nice, responsible decisions, which was a lot easier.
So I think that, again, the kids are going to get access to it. I think that it's important for them to understand, particularly those kids that aren't 18 or won't be able to turn 18 during that period. And there's a fair number of them, to help them understand the legalities around the fact that, you know, they shouldn't be accessing alcohol, and there are consequences for anyone, if something does go wrong, anyone who did supply them with that alcohol. I think that's really, really important to let them understand, as well as the fact that if anyone is over 18, those people also have to think about the consequences of supplying alcohol, dangerous levels of alcohol, right? I think they're going to get access to it regardless. But I think, again, it's about, quantity, the abilities and their bodies and what effect it has on their bodies, whether it be, you know, long-term liver damage, but more specifically around, you know, brain or developmental growth and what that does to them. And then it's just about pure safety, you know, particularly with males, young males, you know, testosterone flying. I think it's really important for them to understand that, and then to essentially make sure that they have each other's backs. If some of them do decide to drink, or, you know, hopefully not take drugs as well, I think it's important for them to also allocate at least somebody, you know, who's not, to ensure that, you know, everyone's, at least someone is on a frame of mind to look after each other. I think that from what I've seen and heard and spoken to other people, I think a lot of those environments today are very controlled and organized. So that does give me a level of comfort that I think that the kids are actually really there to have fun. And it's not just specifically about the drugs or the alcohol. And I think a lot of kids generally will do the right thing. I think they want to do the right thing. So I think you just simply have to trust them, I think. But again, reinforcing the fact that they need to make wise decisions, but also rely on us, no matter what time it is, where they are, where we are, that they can rely on us to help them in any situation that they find themselves in.